All right, so part 2 with AJ. Yeah. I ran out of a storage unit, by the way, on my phone while recording this. So we're talking about You're talking about Tommy was reaching to Congress members and senators and whatnot to get my SIV.
Oh, yeah? No.
Yeah, approved. What do you know about that behind the scene? Because I actually initially, when Tommy drafted the letter, Admiral Winters uh, approved it, but it went way deeper through the channels.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the details of how that process played out. That was Chad and Tommy pushing most of that. So I don't even, I couldn't recount the series of events. Just finally, Steven's come to the United States. You lived with Phil for initially, right?
Yeah, I did.
Quite
Yeah,
a while,
yeah.
Phil was obviously one of our team members. He was my senior Bravo, and then eventually my number 2, the 18 Fox on the team. A true American hero, by the way.
Phil is badass.
Yeah, Phil is badass. And he's a genius. So we had this thing, we call it the minigun. It's basically a Gatling gun that they usually use on helicopters. It was 7.62.
That thing was broken.
Yeah, it was broken. And then Phil was like, he's an 18 Bravo, the weapons guy, but the minigun is a very complex piece of machinery. So one day I go into the weapons. I had a complete chew that I'd stripped out all the walls and set it aside to basically be our armory, because we had so many weapons that we didn't even use, but they're there and available to us. And he had this. I went in there to check on him and see what he was up to one day.
Yeah,
he had that minigun broken down into like 10,000 pieces on this gigantic series of tables laid. I was like, holy fuck, are you going to be able to put this thing back together? He's like, I think so. Yeah. But he did. And then it worked after he got done.
You know what was the problem with it?
Repair it. I have no idea.
It was an electrical problem.
Oh, that makes sense because it's electrically driven.
Yeah, it had 2 batteries.
Most weapon systems, driven off of the energy from the rounds going off.
Yep, yeah. That thing had 2 batteries, and there was an issue with the battery surge, I guess, or like the amps. It was not feeding in proper ampage into the actual trigger system to get it going, and he eventually figured it out. I think there was like a shortage going out somewhere, and he eventually figured it out, and that thing sounded like fucking.
I saw in Arabic they called it the voice of God. What was the actual words that they used?
Sultanah.
It's like Allah.
That one was like.
It would be amazing. We'd be in the middle of a big firefight, like, all right, bring up the minigun truck. So bring the minigun truck towards the front, and then whoa, it starts letting off its laser light show, and the whole battlefield would just be like
a quiet, yeah.
What the fuck? Both sides, and then the ice off, yay! They would cheer, then the battle would continue.
It's sound of freedom, man. It was like the fucking A-10. It was like. I'm pretty sure it was like when I worked with the Marines and other SF guys, it was like a Ramadi area and whatnot. Like we had A10 guys, it was like they come in, it was like as soon terrorists like Al Qaeda, like as soon they hear that Gatling gun out of the fucking A10, like ripping, it was like, okay, everybody fucking dispersed.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why it was so shocking is everybody expects to hear that out of an Apache or the AC-130, the gunship.
Not out of fucking Humvee.
Yeah, not a Humvee. We're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Eventually, we retired that thing because we had the MRAPs that we got, and we got like the...
Yeah, we just didn't have a proper mounting system. We had the very first issue of the SF variant of the MRAP. So we had a remote weapon system, not the Crow system, but it was a remote weapon system like the Crow system.
Yeah.
And we could put 50 cal. They had systems for mounting the 50 cal or the M240 Bravo, and a replacement for the M60 up there. But we didn't have a system for mounting the
minigun.
The minigun yet. And to be truthful, minigun wasn't reliable enough. It was unwieldy and it liked to break down, but on those times
When it works,
yeah,
it
those
works.
times when you really need it, like, hey, we need something to break the stalemate here. You bring the minigun up, and it changes people's minds quickly.
Yeah, I think that Humvee we had the minigun as main, and we had a 240 or no, it was 249.
We had 50 cals on everything except for the minigun truck. Yep.
Yeah, but we had a secondary system on that turret. It was a 249 on the side, just in case.
Not on
if
the
that shit.
not on the MRAPs.
Not the MRAP.
Oh,
the Humvee.
The Humvees, yes, especially the Iraqi variants, because their Humvees were basically open back like pickups. They were armored, but the back was open like a pickup. So they had side mount. They could either put saws or 240 Bravos on sides on swivel mounts, so they could protect. So they had 360-degree coverage with machine guns, not just people sticking rifles out a window and shooting.
I still have no idea how we did not take any.
I know, no casualties. We had lots of injuries. No casualties that entire trip to Basra, 2007, 2008.
No one died.
We were the Battle of Basra.
No one died.
Six ice off with a few green berets attached to him.
I had no idea. I think the way we got lucky with that EFB, I think because that Humvee was not heavily armored. Because
I think so also.
Because the copper plate went through, what is his name, Captain Ayad? Ramah. Lieutenant Ramah, sorry.
Yeah.
Went through his door, hit the fucking helmet radio system, changed direction to the roof.
Well, it shot out the other side.
It did?
Yeah. It came in right at the seam of where the door meets the upper part of the shell of the cab, shot through there, threw shrapnel everywhere. He got injured. Andrew got injured. Ramah, because Ramah was right there.
Got injured.
He was closest to actual concussion once it entered the inside of the cab. Serious brain injury. The gunner got his whole ass and thigh just riddled with shrapnel. The driver got knocked out, but I don't think he took any serious injury.
He took a shrapnel in the neck.
Oh, in the neck. Well, yeah. But he lived. We thought we lost Ramah, which was very sad. And then for a while, even after I was like, "Oh, you lived," but he's messed up. But then he came back. Well, like within a month?
No, it took him a few months.
No, it wasn't that long because he was back on operations with Andrew when we launched one of the companies north.
Yeah, he's loopy.
He was loopy, but he was there.
Yeah,
he was there with Andrew and John. When we sent that, I think it was Alpha Company up north. Where the fuck did we send them to? Was it Ramadi? It was next north up.
No, it was
the more eastern rivers, Euphrates or Tigris.
Nasiriyah.
Nasiriyah, that's right. It was Nasiriyah.
Yeah, it was Nasiriyah. Because we did stuff over there.
Yep.
And
they were assisting another ODA and more Iraqi army, I think, up there was some hits they had to do. And Ramah was there. He's a hero too. A bunch of heroes. That was the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do. It was the hardest redeployment from a combat operation because we grew so close.
With those guys? Yeah.
So close with the ISOF.
Yeah.
All the struggles we had in the beginning because of the prejudices we talked about earlier with the team that was there before, not recognizing that they had just very malleable clay in their hands, and all they had to do was form it a little bit and let it run. They didn't recognize that, but we did, and man, we were fiercely loyal to them, and they were fiercely loyal to us. It just tells you, man, it doesn't matter how different your background is, how different your cultures are. When you come together as brothers fighting in a cause together, that's literally what you become as brothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was heartbreaking to me to leave those fellas behind.
Yeah, no, it's
knowing I'm probably never coming back to that particular location. Yeah.
Every veteran feels the same, especially when like every special operation operator feels the same because a lot of podcasts like Sean Ryan and a bunch of other guys is like they always talk about the same thing. It's like the hardest thing is like leaving our partners
Yeah.
behind.
You grow close with those guys, man.
Yeah, you get like
Closer than you are with any other Americans that aren't also your brothers in war. I mean, it sounds stereotypical. Oh, it's a He-Man, caustic, or what do they call it? Toxic masculinity. But man, it's real.
No,
It is real.
It's absolutely real, and
Man,
camaraderie.
sarcastic.
Yeah, camaraderie that you cannot build anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's just that particular environment, like fighting environment, like hostile environment, like you build a brotherhood
Yeah.
that cannot be replicated elsewhere. It just cannot. As simple as that. I've tried, like in the civilian world, to have that camaraderie with
Never
my
happened.
teammates. It's not the same because you're not always pushed into the limits because you're living in a comfortable environment. You're not living on the edge. When you live on the edge, the best and the worst of you comes out.
Yeah.
And we've seen time and time again when the worst of people comes out under a high stress environment, and those people get weed out and they get called out, obviously, and probably get pushed out, just like I don't want to mention our captain's name on here, and that's what happened to him, and because he was just not performing.
He wasn't built for that type of environment.
Yeah.
Not everybody's built for him.
Yeah, and we had people like drunken sailors, and they were like performing very well.
Like AJ, not this AJ.
Oh yeah, we had
AJ.
we had a linguist. Yeah, we had a linguist called AJ. I think it's like he's Arab.
He's from Dearborn, Michigan.
Dearborn, Michigan. Born in Dearborn, but he's originally from Iraq.
Syria. He was Syrian.
No, he's Iraqi.
I'm pretty sure he was Syrian.
No, you're talking about George. The guy pissed himself on the middle of the mission and refused to
I'm
get out of the
positive
Humvee.
AJ's because his father was whatever. Whether he's Syrian or Iraqi doesn't matter.
Yeah, that guy was like half drunk the entire time.
I know that on at least a couple of hits, he was literally drunk on the head. Like, oh my god. So the final night, the night that he got blown up, is the last big push we did into Basra before finally they brought 2 divisions in, and by then all the bad guys had left because we were just hammering Basra.
Yeah, fucking them up pretty bad.
Night. They just walked into town like throwing out flower petals or something. I don't know. They didn't have any fighting. Like, what the fuck? We've been getting our asses kicked in Basra every night forever.
How long did it take me after I got blown up to go back on a mission again? I think it was like next day or 2 days later.
Well, we didn't need any hardcore missions after that.
Yeah, because that was like the last big push.
Yeah, that was the last big push, and then we saw the what was the they called it shock and awe. They did a big bombing thing out in the oil field outside of Basra the night before, and then it rolled in. It was the charge of the Knights or some bullshit.
It was pretty much over.
Yeah,
at
that's
that
what they
point.
call it. And they just rolled
Charge
into
it.
town, and they're like, "What? What's everybody been complaining about?"
Yeah, because after I got blown up, and a few other people, and we did another mission. We were in Riverside, and we went through town.
Oh yeah, where they had the little amusement park was right
Yeah.
next to the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our very next mission that we actually go into town. So it's like a week and a half later or whatever, and Steven's there, and we're literally handing out soccer balls, and
Flowers,
teddy bears,
yeah.
and we're by this nice park.
No,
that-
we were getting flowers.
Yeah, the old downtown part of Basra. They have this old school like amusement park that you can tell hasn't been maintained in years for obvious reasons.
It was pretty quiet after that.
But it was so nice. It was, and the ISOF were so happy to be out there because that's the brothers and sisters out there. That's the town they all basically
grew up
from.
there.
Most
Yeah.
of it was Basra. That was their city, and they've been being called the Dirty Brigade and all the
kind of
nasty
names.
shit that
Yeah.
the propaganda from the militias was coming out about them, and they're finally out there being able to give back. It was a nice moment.
Yeah, that
and
was
yes,
a-
you were there. That was our very next trip, and everything was peaceful after that.
Yeah, that night we fucked a lot of people up.
Yeah,
Even though we got fucked, yeah, and but damn, we put the fucking hurt on these guys. And Hayania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hayania. So it was Hayania and Al Qubla were the bad places
Yeah,
at
Kubla,
Basra.
Hayania.
So the
Saint
route that
Yusuf.
night took us down to Hayania and then up into Qubla. I think it was we were up into the Qubla part of the
Yeah.
neighborhood. But
We had the
when
Brits.
you guys took that IED that fucked you all up, nobody died.
Nobody died. FYI, the Brits armor actually when we were going into the Kubla area.
They ate IED after
F.
IED. They were just sucking up the IEDs for us because they knew we all knew we're going into the middle of the fortress tonight because we are finally going to break the back of this bullshit.
How many IEDs the Brits armor took that night before we actually got hit?
A bunch, and then the lead MRAP, Chad's MRAP, took
an
its
IED.
second IED.
Yeah.
Not of that night, but of the a couple weeks earlier that they'd taken an IED.
Yeah, that's Saint Yusuf operation.
Syed Yusuf, that piece of shit. Anyway, Dagan, it was a crazy night, and Brits were happy to do it for us because their government wasn't allowing them to maintain peace anymore in Basra. They had to just huddle up inside their inside the perimeter of the FOB.
They had fun.
Of Basra. But then, bad things happened. One of the lieutenants for the ISAF got kidnapped and assassinated. And that's what kicked off the whole Battle of Basra.
Yep. Yeah. So just so you guys know, the Operation Charge of the Night actually was kicked off because we had an ISAF lieutenant was kidnapped. AJ and the team they had a plans to go get him out. It was not approved because leadership sucks, and leadership approved. Our captain approved the most ridiculous plan on the planet that was not gonna work out in whatsoever. He rejected every rational plan. You want to talk about?
You're mixing up two different operations, but yeah, the plan you're talking about is when we were supposed to go rescue that British reporter.
The British reporter is like in
right across the street from Syed Yusuf's mosque compound.
In woman clothing. It was like. Yeah, it was like absolutely ridiculous shit. It was like, it's not gonna work out. It was like a bunch of white guys dressing up in fucking women. It's get the fuck out of here. And shit is not gonna work. But the Operation Charge of the Night, we had a lieutenant. Actually, it was more than just one lieutenant. It was a couple guys that got killed. But the lieutenant was the high profile one, and got assassinated by militias. And that's what kicked off Operation Charge of the Night in south of Iraq.
Yeah.
And we did an entire sweep of south of Iraq, and we kicked the shit out of the militias. It was so bad. And how long it took us? Like a month?
Yeah, it was a month and a half. It just hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, after that, the entire fucking country was got quiet. And until ISIS showed up.
Yeah.
After that, like literally, it was like after Charge of the Night, it was like the entire country was just so quiet until 2012 when fucking ISIS came in through Syria to Mosul and almost took Baghdad. But at that point, we were out, and we handed over everything to the Iraqis, and we had to do an emergency, go back and help the Iraqi government to fight ISIS back. And I ended up going back in 2017 doing the final ISIS push, and I was in Mosul and whatnot. I reconnected with what's his name? Lieutenant Colonel
Oh, the battalion commander?
Abdul Amir.
Abdul Amir, yeah.
Yeah, Abdul Amir. And Abdul Amir at that time, he was like a major general.
No
At
shit.
the CTC.
Well, yeah, because he won the Battle of Basra.
Oh,
right?
dude. No, they were. So after Basra, they railroaded him.
Really?
Oh my God. Yeah, so what happened was.
Oh, because he worked too well with us? Or what?
But he did, but at the same time, he was doing shady stuff because, like, remember, like, all the hooches that we had?
Uh-huh.
It was, like, semi-demolished or, like, half working and whatnot.
Yeah.
So he was selling them in Basra, but at the same time, he was actually selling those hooches in, like, to the public.
Uh-huh.
But he was building something else for his team, even though he was skimming some of the money. But at the same time, but like the corruption over there is just like pretty rampant. It was like, but he was also helping his battalion to expand properly, and so he got dinged on that. So they sent him to be the ISAF battalion commander in Diyala, like right at the Iranian border.
Oh.
And it was like a hub of Sunnis over there. It was like a shit show. One of our sources that was working with Tommy ended up over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because some of our sources, they were actually ISAF guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I ended up driving all the way to Diyala after you guys left. And I talked to Abdul Amir. I was like, hey, just so you know, this guy, one of your senior NCOICs, was one of our main sources in Basra. And he was like,
why would you tell him that?
no, I had to because the guy was getting treated like shit.
Oh.
Yeah, so he called me. He was like, hey, can you do something? I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm coming over. And so I had to drive all the way from Baghdad to Diyala and talk to Abdul Amir. And Abdul Amir was like, Abu La'ura, it was like dick eater, basically. It was like, it was like a joke, insult, whatever. You should have told me. And I was like, I've been trying to call you, motherfucker, for the past couple of months. And it was like, every time I call you, it was like, and you get like a cable from CTC and CTB, and it was like, and you hung up on me. And so I don't, I didn't get a chance to actually explain to you. It was like, hey, who do you have among your ranks? And so after, basically, I met him in person, and yeah, he hooked that guy up. By the way, we got the guy here. He's in Texas.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, he's in Texas. Yeah, so I sponsored him to come to Texas.
I gotta go take a peek. Are you still filming?
Yeah, we're still filming. Okay. All right, we got to do episode 3.